How's it going, folks? How's it going? You already know the waves, and for sure, you already know the vibes. It is Zachariah White, a.k.a. King Big Daddy Drip, back at it like it's nothing with this drip and the sauce, because I am the boss. I am back. We are here. Happy good day to every single one of you ladies and gentlemen out there in the world. All right, now at the time that I'm making this video, it is Thursday. All right, so I hope you guys had a terrific and a thankful Thursday. But seeing that as it is literally 11:45 in the evening, all right, y'all are going to see this come Friday. So I hope y'all are having a fantastic Friday. And y'all, with even as I'm mentioning Friday, I know we've made it so far within a week. All right, I don't care what happened within the week. Y'all give yourselves props for making it thus far, still sticking it out. But, of course, whether or not it was a dogfight all the way throughout or whether we trailblazed right through it, it don't matter. Let's make sure that we finish this week off strong, all right? All right. But, of course, I know whenever it is that I tend to hop up on, I hop up on the mic, man. I hop up on the screen. I typically do another episode of, the news of the people, the news of the world. But this time it's going to be a little bit of something different, all right? Of course, it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these episodes. But, of course, man, we got another episode of the Royal High Table with the King, of course. So, listen, man, every time that I do these videos, I always, or not even these videos, I'll just say these episodes in general, because there's, there'll be the audio and as well as the actual physical version, the video version. But I always talk about how I'm trying to be more consistent, man, and honestly, I just got to do better when it comes to the planning. But today, I'm making some time to actually get to it, stick to it, all right? And I'll honestly say this, guys. All right. This particular episode is not going to be very, very long. I'm just going to talk about my intention is to talk about, one question that I can find up on social media, one interesting question that I can find up on social media, and of course, as I'm going through talking about it, I need to make sure that I post it as a poll so that, at least on Instagram anyway, so that you guys can, go ahead and see it and y'all can go ahead and respond to it, man. All right. Because, one of these days, it is going to be like a forum sort of kind of thing where, we do a live stream. Of course, y'all can talk to me, but also, we can just overall have an exchange of ideas, exchange of thoughts, and ultimately we can help each other grow from this, man. So, but I'll say for this particular go around, I ended up finding some really interesting questions pertaining towards mental health. So that's gonna be something interesting. But I won't even go through doing a whole lot of hoopla talking. All right, I do thank y'all so much for pulling up and showing love. But of course, y'all already know, especially whenever it is that we convene for these Royal High Table or Royal Round Table episodes, man. Either way, it's still all the same, bro. Everybody is a king, queen, god, goddess, emperor, empress, boss. Everybody has that higher version of themselves. All right. Now, whether or not, and honestly, everybody has their own special niche or niches, like their own things that they absolutely own it in. All right. Now, granted, sometimes when it comes to life, some folks may already know what it is that they got that special power in. Other folks may have to go through and find it. Hell, that's what life's all about, man. All right, but nonetheless, though, we are all here. We all hold and possess great power. All right, and I want y'all to acknowledge that. I want y'all to accept that, man. All right, and of course, y'all just move accordingly, move accordingly, pushing forward. All right, but of course, man, listen. I know I got my crown on. Y'all definitely make sure that y'all have y'all crowns on, whether it be physical, whether it be mental, spiritual, emotional, it don't matter. Y'all put that crown on and y'all wear it loud and proud, not only just for yourself, but who and what you represent. And not only that, to let the entire world know what it is that you got going on, man. Do not be afraid to hide that for nobody or no thing, all right? Alright. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn wow. If only I could speak. I'm gonna turn Burna Boy off, man. Which, by the way, big shout outs to Burna Boy because he's doing amazing things. Speaking of, I think I saw that he in like a magazine, he was voted top 100 influential people in the world. So bam, he definitely deserves that. But looking at these different mental health questions, there's quite a number of them. There's more specifically, it looks like 6 of them. And big shout outs to this website, resound.fm. That's actually the website that I'm using, pardon me, to get my questions. But I will say, geez Louise, a quick, there's many questions here, but the one that I think I'm going to pose for not only just myself, but for everybody overall as a unit is, why is mental, well, actually, it's going to be 2, all right? Well, actually, they both mean the same thing. I'm looking at number 73 and 76. Number 73 says, what does mental health mean to you? And then number 76 says, why is mental health important to you personally? Yeah, those sort of, I'm trying to find the distinction there. Perhaps I'm gonna go through and answer it, and there might, a distinction might happen to pop up, but what does mental health mean to you? Wow. That's a very good question. That's a very pause. Anytime somebody says that's a very good question, that means they do not have they are formulating an answer on the spot. All right. But no. In all honesty, what does mental health mean to you, or mean to me rather? This may be a very simple answer to the question, but mental health, I was about to say health of the mental, but really I can't think of any. Well, I'm not gonna say I can't think of. I'm still trying to go through and do that. But that's the initial thought that comes to my mind. Sort of kind of like how, with physical health, we're talking health of the body, whether that be good, whether that be poor, in shape, out of shape, mental health, you take into consideration, mentally strong, or mentally strong, or let's say, on the verge of a mental breakdown, going insane, something of that particular sort. And I don't, as far as like, why is mental health important to you personally? Now that is a little bit of an easier question to answer, in which, I may be able to provide a quicker answer for that, and I think I might mess around and take another mental health related question. But like, as far as why is mental health important to me personally, I'll just say honestly, just important in general. I don't think. Well, this is something that I hope that all of society, all of civilization, all of the world, happens to know, is that life is way too complex. Life is very, very complex. With what I'm about to say is honestly about to be a reiteration of it, but there's so much to life. There in certain respects, in certain frames, in certain spheres, it's applicable for something simple to I guess be the end all be all, but life, I'll just say life just in general, there's so much to it. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, whenever it is that we talk about health, of course, there's so many different things, like I was just talking about before. There's physical health, there's mental health, but not only that, there's emotional health, psychological help, I said not help, health, as well as spiritual health as well. So the reason why mental health is important is because even of all the different types of health that exists, really, I'm gonna say this, really, one needs to make sure that all of those are in good condition. All of those are in working order, working. Or I'll just say, well, working, functioning, whatever term that you want to utilize. And this is the crazy part too, because even if the physical health, the spiritual health, the mental health, the emotional health, everything is at a functioning level or even above that, pardon me, there's still no guarantee. Like, life is still going to be hard. Life is still going to be hard with either, regardless. And life is man, it's definitely going to take a toll on whoever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the statistics, what the adjectives that one possess, but it is because of the fact that hey, life can be easy, life can be great at times, and then life can be sucky, be shitty at times. That is why mental health is important. Really, and I'll say this, even for a lot of the great things that we see in society, well, a lot of the things that we see in society, a lot of the things that we happen to, a lot of the greatest moments that we of course memorize and hold in our memories and cherish them for all these different years. Of course, mental health plays a huge role in it. All right, meaning that again, that enough of that has to be in order before before pretty much anything really takes, before all of the greatness starts happening. I think there's a saying that goes something of mind over matter, and there's a whole, I think there's mind over matter. That wasn't the quote that I was thinking about, but that's the one that just came out. But yeah, no, mind over matter, definitely a huge thing. Once you get the mind in order, it's easier for it's real easy for the body and everything else to follow through. And also, pardon me for my yawns, y'all. Your boy is all over the place, man. But that, to me, that is part of the reason why mental health is important. And as far as for me personally, again, whenever I think back to my biggest moments, funny enough, all in all of those moments, right? I'll say I've never been injured. So I'll say from what it is that I can recall, pretty much all the different types of health, at least that I've recognized and that I've been trying to keep up and maintain, in the biggest moments of my life, they've all been up to, they've all been good. They've all been up to, they've been up to par. But especially that the mental health, at those highlight moments, that's when my mental health has been at the absolute peak. Or let's just, I'll say absolute peak. And even with that, I guess what it is that I'm actually, I guess, referring to is just that, because there may have been so much chaos going on in just regarding, I guess, around, like, with the other folks that happen to be in the same situation with me, but nonetheless, though, again, that mental health, again, like me being able to sort of break things down, to understand actually enough of what's going on, sort of kind of detached to some degree as to whereas what's going on over here and what's going on over here and over here and over here, and whichever, is not going to throw me off of my game, or so, because sometimes even with mental health, it may not even be one of those things where it's like, okay, I need to have enough in order so that like I'm not affected by it. But sometimes you could even your mental health can be so much in order that like you take all of the negative stuff, convert it into something positive, and then in turn, actually go through well, I'll say convert it into something like motivation, and then you actually go through take action, and it becomes like a positive thing. And even again, I'll bring up, I won't go too far into depth, but like I know in a lot of my videos I talk about about how I participated in all these different pageants up at Florida State, or even before then. A pretty big year was my senior year in high school. Again, there was a whole lot of craziness going on, and a whole lot of, okay, I'm not going to let this impact me, but there's also been a good bit of, listen, even like, no, like, and perhaps with any old average Joe, this would break somebody down, but you know what? I'm going to take this and use this as motivation to do even better than what I was already coming to do with, whatever it is that I'm doing. So yeah, that mental health, man, has been, matter of fact, it's been very, very significant, very critical, very crucial. I'll even say, like, I'll say, like, cause for me, life started to turn around, or let's just say I really started to notice life going in an upwards trend around my time in middle school, and ironically enough, that was where I got I got enough of a grip mentally, on not just the world, but what exactly I was supposed to do, really solidified in my mind what's right, what's wrong, what I should do, what I shouldn't do, what it is that I want to do, in life, how the hell it is that I'm actually going to get there, So yeah, no, that's mental health and even to this day, there's so much time where I may not even be doing anything. I may not be talking to nobody. I may not be writing. I may not be doing whichever. But I'm always thinking. I'm always I got my mind running. I've got my mind running. All right. Pardon me. So yeah, no, mental health definitely important, and also, well, I know I've been saying that again and again and again, but I guess I'm also factoring into to the question, like, oftentimes there's so many, like, lots of folks, they can recall times where perhaps they were going through life and they were their biggest enemy, or they didn't necessarily believe in themselves, or how should I say, what else, didn't believe in themselves, their big, like, let's just say, I won't dive too much further beyond that, because then, yeah, I won't mention who these friends are, but again, I've been, I've had my fair share of friends who, hey, as far as mental wise, things have definitely been rough, to the point where they sort of kind of questioning, they sort of question, hey, what the hell am I even doing here on this planet, and that's a very serious thing. But I guess and I'm glad that I did bring that particular point up, because I guess, to me, I sometimes think about that, and I also think about the fact that though life has been very, very hard, and I've had my reasons for not, like, I'll just say, I've never been at the point where I came to where I found myself thinking that, like, why am I here, or I no longer want to be here. I've never. And I'll say that's a blessing. That is a huge blessing, because not everybody can say that, especially in today's time. But I've never really had that particular thought And I think a lot of that has been attributed to, granted, I'm not going to sit up here and tell y'all that, my mental health has been, top of the line, or it has been, the best there is, the best there was, the best there will, the best it'll ever will be on some Brett the Hitman Hart type stuff. But nonetheless, though, but nonetheless, I know it's had to have been, definitely had to have been up to a certain point, and I'm not even going to lie, with all of what's happened in my life, and I'll say there's been a constant repetition of lack of support, and that's something that lots of us can lots of us can relate to. But it's been a lot of like lack of support, lack of love, lack of appreciation, all that other sort of jazz. So that mental health, one's own personal mental health has got to be in order to provide, I guess, provide an internal supply of all that other sort of jazz, so that one continues to keep functioning, keep doing whatever it is that they need to do when they got to do, not only just for their sake, but essentially for everyone else's sake as well. So and you know what? Listen, I know I did a whole lot of talking. I won't even do much more talking on that one. What I will do is I'm going to answer another question, just one last question before I go ahead and cut this out. Again, this is not going to be a very long episode, but I really like the last question. The last question says, what are your favorite mental health resources, like books, podcasts, people, apps? All right. And I know for me, and I know I was talking about how I feel as though for a very, very long time, my mental health has been up to par. It's definitely been important. For me, I know and it's ironic because I hadn't even really noticed these as mental health resources. Until as of recently, the more and more that I started doing some more thinking about it, right? And I know for me, one thing that like I happen to do to help keep up with mental resources is I grab some well I'm gonna show y'all, right? Of course, you got the couple of the whiteboards, just hanging out. Now, pardon me if it happens to, if my living room happens to look a certain type of way, but essentially I've got these whiteboards up, and I've got important things written on them, right? Like I know and this, I'm very disciplined when it comes to this, but every single day I've got several whiteboards that I write important stuff on. Like the first two whiteboards that I end up writing something on, it has my name, and it has well, essentially I'll say it has who and what I am. All right. So the first two, it says my name, Zachariah Trayvon White, and it says, King and Emperor of the internal sphere and King and Emperor of the external sphere. And then, the other one reads, Founder and CEO of the internal sphere and Founder and CEO of the external sphere. So, those are, and really, I'll say I like those because consistently in life, you have to remind yourself consistently. Like I'll say the main, you really do have to keep up with the maintenance on things. All right. Like for the question, who are you? That is a very important question, right? Like what are you? It's also a very important question. Lots of people lots of people, if you're not careful, well, of course, anybody can fall into this, but lots of people can't tell you who they are. Lots of people can't tell you what they are, or lots of people, perhaps they had to answer one point, they mess around and they lose it. All right, and it's not so much. I don't put that on them. Again, we were just talking about how life is difficult as hell, man. Life is very, very difficult, man. And things may be going good one moment, but yo, it could flip everything upside down. And I tell you this, that's man, it ain't easy. It's but nonetheless though, it's possible to get through. It's definitely possible to get through. But I know I use those whiteboards to remind me of who I am, what I am, who and what the internal spirit and the external spirit is, what's our daily mission every single day that we get up. What are we trying to do? All right. I use the whiteboards for that. And I'll just say, just in general, I like for I know it mentioned like what's your favorite like resources. Honestly enough, I don't really. Well, I do, because I do happen to purchase some books to help me out. I won't say like they're very, very interesting, but my favorite mental health resources actually sort of comes from within us. It just comes from just thinking or just writing it out, or sometimes just speaking it out as well, and that's something that I also like to do. Yeah, but if I had to answer the question straight up, it would have to be my whiteboards, my whiteboards every single day. It's and the more and more that I write, I keep writing it down. I literally and I'll even have manifestations put down on some of the whiteboards as well. And the cool thing is that after doing that consistently and every day, trying to be the good and great and the best version of myself every single day, what I happen to see is that it actually what it is that I'm writing down on the board, it's not just something that's just written down on the board. It literally has been willed into existence, and it's now an actual thing, and that's a very, very beautiful sight to see. And I hope that you guys do that as well, because it is very empowering. It's very inspiring, and not only that could set up for a snowball effect in a good and positive way. So y'all, that is something that I would recommend for y'all, man. Definitely, take some time to. I'll just say for all of the basic actions, like the read, the writes, the write down your manifestations, to speak that out into existence, and then to try to do your best to do good, do great every single day, consistently, every single day. All right, that is, if I had to give any tips, not saying that was the question, but that's what I think that everybody should do. And as far as those whiteboards, y'all definitely make sure that y'all get that, man. But all in all, this right here, I won't even, again, that's all that I got for now, man. Again, I didn't want to make this episode anything too long. But nonetheless, man, again, I thank y'all for the love and support. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out to y'all. I'll say this: I'm gonna upload this as I'm taking a shower. I already know. But y'all like this up. Y'all share this with any and everybody. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow my social media pages, of course, all that other sort of jazz, man. I need to do better on honestly getting this out on Spotify. That's what I need to do, like on Spotify or Anchor or any of the other podcasting sources. But again, the move is always for us to try to be consistent. So I'm going to look to see what I can do on Saturday and Sunday. Again, I'm gonna really have to you know, go ahead and get on the grind. It's gonna be, you know, some short ones, but we gotta start building. We gotta start building the momentum, man. All right. But all in all, again, thank y'all so much. Again, but the most important thing, y'all make sure that y'all stay tuned, stay tapped in, and stay locked in, because the juice over here never stops dripping. All right. All right. Now I'll catch y'all in the next one. Pardon me. But peace, be easy, and as always, y'all stay blessed up.